everyone, welcome to my Warwick Season 15 build guide. Whether you're a new Warwick player or someone looking to optimize your gameplay, this guide will cover everything you need to know to dominate with him in jungle. We will be going over his abilities, mechanics, skill order, runes, itemization, and the best builds for different situations. I will give you some key tips on how to maximize his potential in fights, ganks, and duels with the right setup. If you want to see these strategies in action, be sure to check out my VOD review linked in the description. There I break down real gameplay, explaining decision making, pathing, and how to play Warwick effectively at a high level. But for now, let's jump into why you should play Warwick in Season 15. The best champions to play if you are new to the jungle role or stuck in low elo, and for good reason. His kit is simple yet highly effective, making him an excellent champion to learn fundamental jungle mechanics without being overly reliant on complex mechanics or high APM. One of Warwick's biggest strengths is his incredible sustain. His passive and Q allows him to heal off his damage, meaning you rarely have to worry about getting too low in the jungle or needing to recall early. This makes his clears extremely safe and forgiving, even if you mess up your first clear. Another reason Warwick is such a great pick, especially for newer junglers, is his strong dueling potential. His W gives him bonus attack speed and movement speed against low health enemies, which makes him a nightmare to fight in skirmishes. His Q is not only a great sustain tool, but also an excellent way to stick to targets and follow enemy dashes, something many players don't take advantage of. His E provides the damage reduction and the fear, giving him the ability to turn fights around even when he is outnumbered. This combination of sustained CC and movement speed makes Warwick a consistent and reliable champion for controlling early fights, invading weaker junglers, and securing objectives. For players in low elo, Warwick is one of the best champions to abuse the chaotic nature of solo queue. Many junglers at lower ranks struggle with tracking enemy movement, punishing overextension, and closing out games. Warwick excels in all of these areas. His W passive helps you find easy kills on overextended enemies, and his ultimate is one of the best tools for locking down carries and securing picks. His ability to solo objectives early and chase down enemies and create pressure on the map makes him a strong pick for carrying games, even if your laners aren't doing well. Finally, Warwick is an extremely versatile champion. He can be played as a bruiser, a tank, or even in off-meta builds like Lethality for fun. This flexibility means you can adapt to different team compositions and matchups while still playing a champion with a simple but effective game plan. If you are new to jungle and struggling with concepts like efficient pathing, proper gank timing, or how to control objectives, Warwick is the perfect champion to help you develop strong jungle fundamentals while still having champions that can make a high impact. Whether you are learning the role for the first time or looking for a strong pick to climb out of low ranks, Warwick is a solid, consistent, and rewarding choice. Let's talk about his abilities and skill orders. Abilities make him one of the best junglers for sustained dueling and chase potential. His passive gives him built-in healing, allowing him to stay healthy in the jungle and extended fights. His Q is a powerful damage and sustain tool that also follows enemy movement if you hold it down, letting you stick to mobile targets. His W is one of his strongest abilities. Passively gives bonus movement speed towards top-head enemies and attack speed against bleeding targets, making Warwick an excellent finisher and skirmisher. His E reduces incoming damage and when reactivating, clears nearby enemies, making it a great engage and peel tool. His ultimate is a suppression that locks down enemies, applying Warwick's own hit effect and providing great initiation. For the first 3 levels, you should always follow this order. Level 1 Q provides healing and single target damage for your jungle clear. Level 2, level up your W, speeds up your clears and enhances dwelling potential. And at level 3, level up your E, gives you damage reduction and CC for fights or early ganks. After the first 3 levels, you always max W first, as it increases your attack speed significantly and makes you stronger in fights and jungle clears. From there, max Q second for better healing and dwelling. Then E less, since the fear duration remains the same at rank 1. So your standard maxing order is W first for stronger jungle clears and fight potential, Q second for more healing and damage, and then E less since it's mainly used for the fear utility. Always max ult whenever possible. Some players prefer putting 3 points in W first before maxing Q, then finishing W after Q is maxed. This gives an early power spike in fights and dwelling, but isn't mandatory. However, you can't go wrong with maxing W first. It's always the best option for Warwick's jungle playstyle. Runes for Warwick jungle. Warwick has some flexibility when it comes to runes, but for jungle specifically, we always take precision as the primary rune tree. Warwick top has a few more viable options, but as a jungler, we need consistency, clear speed, and dwelling power, which precision offers in the best way possible. Lethal tempo versus press the attack. For our keystone, we have two main options, press the attack or lethal tempo. Both are viable, but lethal tempo is by far the best choice now that it's back. Warwick scales heavily with attack speed. More auto attacks means more healing from his passive and faster damage output. Lethal tempo also lets you reach 6 stacks quickly, giving you even more attack speed in fights, making extended trades and objective control much stronger. Press the attack, on the other hand, is a solid alternative that provides stronger burst damage in short trades. It helps you in early fights and skirmishes, but doesn't scale as well as lethal tempo. I highly recommend lethal tempo for the best value overall, but if you prefer short fights over drawn out duels, press the attack can still work. Your core precision runes will be Triumph, the best sustain option for Warwick. The healing synergy with his passive and Q makes him even harder to kill, and the bonus gold on takedown is a nice bonus. Pretty will be next. Attack speed is Warwick's best stat, so this rune is perfect. It makes his jungle clear smoother and increases his sustain by giving him more auto attacks. And lastly, we have Last Stand. Warwick naturally plays fights at lower HP thanks to his passive healing and W. Last Stand gives him extra damage when he is low, making it the best choice over Coup de Grace or Cut Down. Secondary rune choices. The secondary rune tree is mostly preference, but Sorcery is the best overall option for Warwick jungle. Sorcery is your best choice. Celerity increases movement speed, which Warwick loves, as he relies on chase potential with his W. Walking gives movement speed and LFT force in the rear, helping with skirmishes, triumph fights, and objective control. You may have seen my Axiom Arcanist Warwick video where I talked about how it's an incredibly strong rune on him. While it was broken before the nerf, I still think it's a decent option, but for jungle, water walking simply offers more value due to the consistent movement speed and extra damage in river fights. But let's talk about some alternative secondary runes. Domination, second best alternative. Sudden Impact works well with Warwick's Wood, giving him extra lethality after using it. Treasure Hunter, good for snowballing, letting you get your core items faster. Resolve, more common in top lane, less optimal for jungle. Some Warwick players like Resolve, but it's much more useful in top lane, where you need durability. It can work in the jungle, but is generally outclassed by Sorcery and Domination. Inspiration Tree, not recommended anymore. Some players used to take inspiration for Futures Market, but since that rune is gone, there's no real reason to take this tree anymore. But what about stat charts? Attack speed, always the best choice for Warwick since it directly increases his healing and DPS. LFT force, more damage is always good, and this helps his dwelling potential. Then scaling health. While some players take flat HP, scaling health becomes better after level 7, making it the best long-term option. The small loss of value early on isn't a big deal, since Warwick has built-in sustain. Final thoughts on runes. For Warwick jungle, precision plus sorcery with lethal tempo, triumph, electricity, last stand, celerity, and water walking is the best overall setup. It gives you the best mix of attack speed, sustain, movement speed, and skirmish power. While there are alternative pages, this setup is the most consistent and optimal for carrying games. For Warwick jungle, the blue jungle path is by far the best option. The bonus movement speed it provides when moving through the jungle and after killing camps is perfect for Warwick, helping him chase enemies and move efficiently across the map. The other jungle paths simply don't offer as much value. You also don't need to buy a health potion at the start, since Warwick's passive healing and Q sustain keep him healthy enough throughout his clear. If you want to buy one, you can, but it's not a must-have. Now we have his core build. Stridebreaker build, best overall choice. Warwick's best build in Season 15 revolves around Stridebreaker as the first item. He has stopped building Titanic Hydra first because Stridebreaker provides better value overall, helping Warwick with one of his biggest weaknesses, sticking to target. Stridebreaker, like I said, will be the first item. Gives attack damage, attack speed, and health. All great for Warwick. The active ability slows enemies in an area around you, helping you keep them in range for more auto attacks and Qs. It's great damage in skirmishes and improves Warwick's jungle clear speed. Blade of the Ruined King, second item, has amazing synergy with Warwick's kit, thanks to its own hit percentage HP damage pairs perfectly well with lethal tempo, letting Warwick shred through tanky enemies. The passive effect steals movement speed from enemies, making it even easier to stick to targets. Tormail, third item unless the enemy team is AP heavy, provides armor and grievous wounds, making Warwick much harder to kill against any champion. If the enemy team has a lot of healing, this is the best way to counter it. If the enemy team is AP heavy, pair Spirit Visage first instead. Spirit Visage will be your third or fourth item depending on the enemy comp. Increases all healing effects including Warwick's passive and Q, making him even more durable. Provides magic resist, making it essential against teams with heavy AP damage. Sterak's Gauge will be our final item. Gives bonus AD and a shield, making Warwick much harder to kill in extended fights. Works perfectly with his build, ensuring Warwick stays alive while diving into fights. Let's talk about the tankier build. More defensive option, still a really solid build. This build focuses on making Warwick more durable while still keeping solid damage output. Instead of Stridebreaker, we build Iceborne Gauntlet for extra tankiness. Blade of the Ruined King will be our first item, still a must-have for damage and sustain. Iceborne Gauntlet will be the second item. Gives armor, HP, and a slow on auto attacks, helping Warwick stick to enemies without needing Stridebreaker. Tormail or Spirit Visage will be our third item, picked based on the enemy team comp. Finish your build with situational items, built accordingly to the game's needs. Let's talk about the situational items as well. Depending on the enemy team comp, you might need to swap in different items. Guardian Angel, great if you are ahead and want a second life to keep playing aggressively. Jack Shoul, if you want longer fights, this item increases your durability significantly. Or Thranduin Soulman, best armor option against crit heavy champions like Yasuo, Yon or ADCs building Infinity Edge. And finally, Dead Dance adds damage and survivability, making Warwick even stronger in extended fight. But I have a honorable mention build as well, which is Titanic Hydra and Trinity Force build. While Stridebreaker is the best first item, a Titanic Hydra and Trinity Force build is still a fun alternative that focuses on bruiser stats and on hit damage. Titanic Hydra first item adds extra clear speed, HP, and bonus on hit damage. Trinity first, second item. Works well with Warwick's Q and auto attacks giving more burst. Sterak's Gauge will be your third item in this case. Adds tankiness while increasing damage. And final items, Tormail, Spirit Visage, Guardian Angel or Randuin's depending on enemy team comp. This build is bruiser focused, giving strong mid-game damage, but it's not as consistent as Stridebreaker. And my final thoughts on builds. For Season 15, Stridebreaker into Blade of the Ruined King is the best and most consistent build for Warwick jungle. It gives him everything he needs: chase potential, dwelling power, and strong skirmishes. The tankier Iceborne Gauntlet build is great alternative if you need more durability, and the Titanic Hydra Trinity Force build is still viable. Try out all three of these builds and enjoy the best runes and best builds for Warwick jungle in Season 15. If you would like to see a Warwick top lane guide as well, at least his items in case you are playing him on top lane, let me know. His builds and runes slightly changed there, but if you are interested, I can make one guide like this one for top lane as well. Until then, see you all. Thank you for watching. A like, comment and subscription are greatly appreciated.